screen light up. I'm going to do it so we can see it before we start the truck so we can hear a little bit better. Normally we could go to start right now. Pump would be working. You're still going to wait for that 45 seconds for that screen to come up. When I go to start the truck, it's going to shut off. It's going to restart it again. For some reason, whether it just loses power because it takes so much to start, I'm not really sure why that is. Electric primer. All it does is turn on a switch. There's no air right now, so you don't hear anything other than that clicking. But it opens up a valve. The air it's an air primer, so it's like the big loud one on the other one. Trucks. This is just monitoring your truck, basically, or your pump pressure here, temperature. Just your warning lights. They're not switches; they're just lights. This is the compressor oil level. Can't really see it here because we're dipping down a little bit. Normally it's right in the middle. It has been right along and sitting level. This fitting here, this will air out through this hole here. We put a fitting on it. It'll let air out there, I believe, as well as all the lines. Not sure about that because I don't have a fitting on it to try. I think if we had a fitting here that was capped, you open this up and it would blow out the lines as well. These are all drains, just quarter turns. They're all draining stuff inside. And there's a pump drain here. They all come down to this corner, the little teeny lines. It drains pretty slow. So everything's done. Once you're done in the summer, this is the only one that you'd really need to drain. I don't think it'd be bad to just crack them to make sure there's no pressure on them. But we won't drain the pump in all summer. So it's just a matter of, just cracking them after you're done. This one here, they're saying to drain it. So leave that open for a bit after every use. Something we didn't have on our other one. You got one line here. This is the only valve, manual opening and close valve you got on this. That's going to put straight water to here on this line.
And only straight water.
Straight water. You cannot get foam out of this line. You've got a tank fill. This will refill your truck. This one down below it, tank to pump. That's the one that lets the water out of the truck. That's the first one that you're going to normally always open before you even start it up.
So when it's cold, you can still
when it's cold,
recirculate?
Yes. Yep. You open those two, either wide open or this one here crack, just so you keep some pressure. That one there, typically you would have wide open all the time if you're using it. In this case here, we got this valve here, which is our suction. This is closed. That's open. The prime, you'd be opening this, and you'd be pushing this, and you will see the water come up. That at an idle. At least I've been able to do it at an idle here. I have not been down to a hydrant where it's a big lift. I still think you can probably do it at an idle.
It idles itself, it throttles itself up as you
well, not when you're priming. It'll throttle up when you go to hit foam. It'll do what it needs to do what
How will it, if you're going to draft with it?
If you draft, you should be able to draft at an idle. I can't guarantee that. I have not done a big draft. You can draft out of this at an idle.
Okay.
All right. Without any problem. Going down the hydrant, higher lift, I think it's going to be the same because it really don't. I mean, it's just evacuating the air. Yeah. So it shouldn't make a difference. Foam readings. I don't know why this one's down. We are full foam. This is your water level. Well, it didn't. It was doing it down there too. So I don't know why. Whether it's not quite accurate on it or not. So that's your functions on this truck. I mean, all these little valves in there. Well, what does this one do? They're all pretty self-explanatory, pretty well labeled.
And what is the digital screen going to tell us?
So this is your pump. So that's your main screen. It's got the flush. It's got line discharge 1, which is that one. Discharge 2 over here. That's these two reels.
And is that just reporting, or are you actively? Is that a touch screen where you can actively?
Touch screen.
So you can select it.
I can do it now. So I just hit discharge 1, and it opens up. So we get go back. Yeah. So they're just touch buttons. Actually, you don't have to touch them as hard as you think. push them too hard.
Will they work with gloves on?
Oh yeah.
Great.
Better, because our new truck says the same thing. So this is going to be our main screen, our main thing that you go. What there is on this, there's 3 different screens. You got these 3 buttons down here, or 3 lights down the bottom. That tells you what screen you're into. There's basically only 3 screens. That's the first one. Yes. So this one here is you can change your settings of your phone just by hitting phone plus or minus 0.4. It's set at 0.4. I always thought this was supposed to be 0.3.
3, that's what I thought.
But that'll be how we can get that checked or changed. Probably we can always just minus it.
There you go.
Too. We shouldn't have to. I mean, we should have
come
a
up, should
preset
come
for
up.
what we're.
And that's the concentration of the foam to the water?
Yes, that's the mix for the phone. Yeah. Got prime up here. I don't know. I've never used this prime. It may override this one. I don't know. Right into the screen. Showing your total flow, pipe foam. Hey, that's all we have on this truck. Total water used.
Seems like
another touch screen.
pump run time or anything like that?
I don't think it shows pump run time. So that's then so we can go to the next screen. This would be your, I believe, and I'm not 100% on this. I haven't even trained on it yet. But this one here, I believe, is going to relate more to just this clear water hose, where you can change it by throttle, up the throttle when it's running, or you go by pressure. You can up your pressure or throttle, depending on what you want. Typically, for us, it would be pressure. I want 100 pounds on there. Well, let it figure out the throttle. You just set it for 100 pounds. Plus or minus here. We're doing that throttle now. PSI. Just go up to set what you want. Let it regulate the pressure. This is our foam screen. Say when your first comes on, it's going to be looking like this.
It's going to be typically now in our normal scenario.
I think we're going to go to foam. I don't know when we would.
There's no water lines hooked up on this. It's all foam until you get
Well, no. Okay, so the only way I know right now to get water out of these 2 lines is to go to flush. It's not doing anything. We're not running. You go to flush. So you go to flush. So you got the 3 choices. You got wet caps here. That shows you with the diagram that you're actually pumping out of that. Go to dry. This one here sends just air. So when you're done fire scene and thinner, you blow these lines out, you go to the air. So that's your 3 settings. Got it on both of them. Here, this is going to show your water flow, your water pressure, air pressure mix, oil temperature, which I would believe would be their pump oil pressure or temperature. So those are your 3 screens that you're working with on this truck. If there's more, I don't know how to get to them.
Basically, you don't even have to worry about that. It's pretty much set up so when you turn it on,
Right.
You're going to go.
yeah.
What they do want you to do after every use, they want you to flush that foam out of these units, out of the whole manifold inside. So we could always want to go to a flush when we're done.
How many gallons does it take to completely flush everything?
Yeah, it's not much. We could look at that today. I haven't monitored that. There's a light up here. There is going to be one more light here, a big light bar. Shine it off. There's going to be 2 more red lights on the corners on it as well. think 90% we would be shooting for both.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
when
you're gonna
we
go in
would
and
set.
screen, you should be able to start it up, fire it, hit
So-
line 1 or
so-
line 2, and
Yeah.
The prong outlet there, that's for the headset down there lower
This
right.
is for the headset, yes. And the headset's in the bag on the side.
in that spring. So we come up, we're gonna, if we go to a large grass fire, we're gonna use foam, we're gonna use what?
Usually foam. Foam is going to go way farther with your
I
water.
just wanted
That's the whole deal.
Clarify that,
Yeah.
but that's what
And
we
typically, this is the line you're going to be pulling because it's way lighter than that one. You've got, I think, 200 feet on here. If you need to go further, we can add forestry hose onto the end of that, or you can put it on that one there.
typically, because the truck is mobile.
The truck is mobile. I mean, but I've had it where I've put on a couple hundred feet of forestry hose before because the truck can't get any farther out in the woods. Just couldn't get any further.
And the pump will automatically adjust with pressure. If there's more hose, we have to drive the foam through.
No. The pressure with the caps, the pressure ain't going to make any difference because you got the air behind it.
Yeah.
There's next to no resistance with caps. Water, you're going to have to self-adjust.
You would just
straight water. Now you start putting a couple hundred feet of forestry hose, you're going to need to up your pressure.
Got it. Will we be able to just fill any packs onto this as well?
Yes, we've got the adapter that goes onto here to a garden hose. I think we got the short piece of hose in there so that at any time can fill. If you're not running and you got enough water in there, it'll gravity feed in. If you're running, just crack that valve and it's going to be pressure. I believe there's pressure on that all the time. We will find that out today. I've never hooked onto that one. So I'm going to start it. You'll see this screen go dead, and we're going to have to wait for that 45 seconds, and then you'll see what happens when it comes up.
Dave, I bet the 45 seconds if you let the engine warm up before you start pumping.
You don't know? It's warm from inside. Normally it's not out. The fire truck. Maybe it's the thing to do.
Start there, man. Then make your connection. And by the time you get your connection made, it's already
You got it. Once you got a line, yeah. So you, I mean, it's a long time when you're just sitting there waiting, nothing to do. The one thing this does have, it does have the packing on it. It's got that ceramic fitting. You don't want this running without water a long time without water in it. Right now it's running without water in it. What I should have done is probably opened up that tank pump already. That would have water in it, so it would be cycling. As soon as that comes up, it would be moving water in the truck. So that's happening to not stay dry. At an idle, you got quite a bit of time. That's the other reason to try to do the priming and everything at an idle. No, as far as I know, there's no reason to rev it up because it's air. We had that problem the last one, the ceramic city that was the one that gave us a lot of problems with the other one. I think we burned it up. What happens is they get hot when they're sitting there, then you get the water to them, they crack. So that's up there. So it's